It seems to me, judging from our past conversations and others you've had, you're always going to be indebted to Zack. Zack Snyder's your
Totally,
guy.
man.
He changed
Totally.
your life.
Totally.
So is that partially why when we spoke about a year ago and I brought up the Snyder Cut, you're like, yeah, I need to see that?
Yeah, absolutely. But I have seen it, so.
I've seen
the Snyder Cut, so.
So what does that mean? Because the effects aren't done. Like you've seen his assemblage of footage and alternate takes, etc.
Oh, do you think Zack couldn't finish it? You don't think he?
I don't know. You tell me. He's finished.
I mean, listen, man. Next question. Bro.
Do you think we'll ever see it? Do you think the public will ever see it at this point? Because it seems like it's actually the groundswell has grown. And a year ago, I would have had my doubts.
You know, I'm obviously indebted to Warner's and DC, and you know, I don't know how they feel about it, but I mean,
right.
As a fan, I'm very, very happy that I got to see it.
Does it feel like a totally different movie than the Justice League that was released?
Yeah.
Okay.
Zack's film, he shot everything that he wanted to shoot. I mean, it's not a matter of whether or not it exists. It's a matter of whether or not we see it. But no, it's I know people are sort of really hungry for that sort of thing, and you never know. Maybe one day.
What is good, YouTube? Warstu here, and we've got a very interesting Justice League Snyder Cut video. I've seen it. I haven't personally seen it, but apparently a lot of people have seen this movie. Even though it doesn't exist, I would have played some clips of other people saying they've watched it. Jason Momoa keeps going on record saying he's watched it. So many people have seen it to the point where Zack Snyder has promised someone they can watch it the next time that she is in LA, yet it doesn't exist. Right, let's break this down. So, if you are new around here, welcome. If you're not, welcome. If we ever get 100,000 subscribers, I will be giving away a really awesome prize. All you gotta do is subscribe to the channel with notifications on, because apparently 88% of my audience is not subscribed to the channel. What are you doing? Yeah, I'm just saying that because it's pretty cool analytics. So, subscribe to the channel, notifications on, tell absolutely every person in your life to watch this video. So, let's get into it. So, for the last year or so, I've been making random Justice League videos about more factual evidence. And someone who worked on the movie, the Justice League stunt coordinator, as in she actually worked on the movie. You know, she isn't some random blogger, some website that's got a blue tick saying it doesn't exist. She knows it exists. She's gone on record saying it exists. So she is called Eunice Thethart, which is a very uncommon name. I've never actually heard that name. So if I've butchered it, just let me know down below. So she says that many people she knows have seen the Snyder Cut and says it's amazing. Jason Momoa was the first person to say he saw Snyder's cut of the Justice League. But apparently many people have seen it. And it's amazing. The campaign for the Snyder Cut has been persistent since Joss Whedon's variation of the movie hit the cinema November 2017. And to be honest, it wasn't bad. It wasn't great. But we know Snyder's Cut would have been so much better, to the point where I just want them to release it. So if it is worse, which it won't be, because you know Snyder's work, Watchmen, Man of Steel, 300, he's absolutely great. But it's really been since Jason Momoa threw his hat into the ring and said he's seen it. You got to understand, he is the face of DC with Gal Gadot. Okay, Aquaman 2 is coming. You know, his first movie grossed 1.1 billion. So if Jason's going on record, Warner Bros would be like, what are you doing, Jason? You're not allowed to talk about it. So obviously he is allowed to talk about it, or else they would fire him. So initially there was a debate about whether it existed or not, which is absolutely ridiculous. Why would Zack Snyder, a really awesome director, visually stunning, his cinematography is amazing, someone that's really respected in Hollywood, why would he say, yeah, there's this cut, this was not my movie, I've not even watched what's being released because it's not mine? So just despite ample evidence to the contrary, but then Jason Momoa said he described it and said it's sick. And Snyder himself on multiple occasions confirmed it exists. There is even a panel that he did talking about what the Justice League movie really was. Kevin Smith knows people who have seen it as well. Even HBO Watchmen showrunner suggested in November that he's seen it. And also, it did trend worldwide in November, the 2-year anniversary. And everyone got behind it. So recently, Snyder has teased he wants to do even more additional photography. But this is why some people seem to think it doesn't exist. Now, what this means is, because he didn't get to do his own reshoots, he wants to add scenes that he couldn't do because of the family tragedy. And that is what it means, right? Ben Affleck even said he wanted to help Snyder however he could in a recent interview. It's a hot topic. You guys love me talking about it. So, this is where the Justice League stunt coordinator's information comes from. She spoke with Screen Rant during an interview for Star Wars: Rise of the Skywalker, where she was also served as a stunt coordinator on that. And then she spoke about the Snyder Cut, and this is what she had to say. Yeah, there's a few questions about that. I'm sure that I'm okay to say I've officially know people who have seen it, and I've officially spoke to people who have said they've seen it, but they couldn't prove it. But why would you say you've watched something if you haven't? And said it's absolutely fantastic. I do believe that the movie we were making, Zack Snyder's film, of the film, you know, with the heartache of what happened with his daughter, we pulled out. And I did the reshoots of it. So the movie took a slightly different direction, which is completely different. I watched the cinema release of the film. I text Zack to say, what this I'm hearing about the Snyder Cut, I need to see it. And he did promise me next time I'm in LA that I'll get to watch it. So I would definitely see it at some point and watch the Snyder Cut. And I've spoke to people who have actually said it's brilliant. They said it's absolutely gold. So it exists. It's already there. Even without the additional photography, it is a much better version. And then Sweden has the audacity recently, I'm trolling and this is a joke. He made a joke about Batman from the Justice League and then hashtag release the Snyder Cut. It's like, I just don't even know where to start. So with the amount of buzz it's still getting, especially recently, it shouldn't be a surprise that crew members like her are texting Snyder to try and get private screening of the legendary cut. The stunt crew seems to be especially big fans because they were there. Snyder teasers have made heat, and it's been heating up in media recently. With all the teasers about additional photography, he needs to be done if he wants to bring out the new title, which is Zack Snyder's Justice League. It's easy to assume something must be up by any debunking or anything like that, but all he wants to do is the original movie, so he would need to film additional scenes. It's not hard to figure out. The Snyder Cut is far further along than many other productions who saw the production on hold, if that makes any sense. So if there is any way to complete it and release it in the near future, then they are going to do that. So I've been speaking to some industry insiders, although all industry insiders are technically not working in Hollywood, but they still have access to a computer, and I've been told that it is real, it does exist. Someone on Instagram specifically has been telling me stuff. It's there, but specifically it's to do with HBO Max and their new owners. Obviously DC still runs DC, but their new owners, the American mobile phone giant, they will probably release it. Now, whatever is there is whatever Jason Momoa has seen. So there is no reason why they could not release on HBO Max, especially with what is going on in the world at the moment. It really would be cool. And it wouldn't hinder any plans for Man of Steel 2, etc. Because although Henry Cavill did say he wants to move forward, well, that's obviously because the Justice movie is done with. So, of course, he wants to move forward. But he also did say he wants more of the tone of Man of Steel in Man of Tomorrow, in Man of Steel 2. So, it is true. And why HBO Max is perfect is because it's owned by the company already. So, it's their streaming platform. But is it going to happen during this hiatus, I guess you could say, or this break in Hollywood? I don't know, but it's interesting that even more people have said they've seen it. I can account at least 20 people who have gone on record to say they've seen it. Even Gal Gadot is saying stuff, and I mean, she supported the hashtag back in November, so why would she say that if she hasn't seen it? Ray Fisher said, it's not a case of if you're going to see it. It's not a case of if it's real. It's a case of if you're going to see it. I'll probably tag that in at the start of the video. But it is interesting how people keep debunking the Snyder Cut. Yet everyone keeps saying how great it is. I don't know if somehow I can get a private screening to see it. Probably not, but it would be pretty interesting. After all, I am the founding father. I am the Oracle. I am the person behind the Snyder Cut. No, I'm not really, guys, but I read some comments about when I said that last time. No, what I mean is because obviously I post videos on pop culture stuff, and if I post videos, it gets some decent traction, so I can talk on your behalf. So we still want the Snyder Cut, so that's why I say that. So when I say that, these videos do somewhat decent. We at least get 1,000 views, so we get some eyes on the Snyder Cut. And yes, Warner Bros. Probably do watch my channel. Maybe not anymore, but I know they did at one point, because they can't copyright claim a video without actually looking at video, can they? No. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in Hollywood. Will they release the said Snyder Cut? Will he get the additional $20 million he needs to do the rest of the CGI? We've even had the Darkseid voice actor saying, yeah, I did some scenes. I recorded my voice for the Darkseid. I mean, there's even an image with Wonder Woman and Darkseid concept art, so we know it is specifically real. It's a case, we're going to get it. Now, I quite like making these Justice League videos because they feel like fancast videos. And then we had Zachary Levi at Fan Fest back in November saying something very different, saying the Snyder Cut does not exist. But then he found out it did exist, and then he backtracked, so that's why I got rid of the other Justice League I did, because his comments were kind of uneducated. Although everyone keeps talking about Snyder Cut like it's a joke, even Ryan Reynolds keeps popping up jokes about Snyder Cut. Everyone knows about the Snyder Cut, so just freaking release it. Release it. Whoever's in charge, just release it. I'm not going to say this is going to be the last video I'm going to do on the Snyder Cut, because that would probably be a lie, but the future of DC is looking very bright. We've got Black Adam, we've got the Batman movie, we've got the Flash movie, if it ever comes. We've got Aquaman 2. So much in the works. So like always, please like, subscribe, and comment. If we ever get to 100,000 subscribers, it would be worth it. And I will be giving away an epic prize. So make sure to check me out on Twitter at WWarStew, Instagram at WarStew. And I will catch you on warstew.com. That's a website as well. Check that out there. And I will catch you in another video very soon. Catch ya later.